order the regular meeting of the Board of Trustees of Venus ISD at 6:30 p.m. on December 18th, 2023, and we do have a quorum. And now if you'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and invocation. Amber, will you lead us in the pledge?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Joe, would you lead us in invocation?
Sure. May we bow? Gracious Heavenly Father, we come into your presence tonight, Lord. Just give you thanks for the blessings that you send our way each and every day. Lord, for the privilege of serving this community and serving these kids. Lord, we ask for wisdom as we discuss things and make decisions that affect these kids and affects this community. Lord, we just ask you to bless this community. Lord, as we celebrate this season of the year, we just thank you for your Son. Ask all these things in your precious and holy name. Amen.
And then thank you everybody for coming. We would like to welcome all of y'all. And then item 4, did anybody sign up, Rosie? Nobody? Okay. So we're going to move to item number 5, student recognition. And Dr. Torres is going to speak on that.
Okay, good evening. Thank you everyone for coming. As we're wrapping up the fall semester, it's been an amazing semester, and we've got some student groups here that we would like to recognize. So here in just a moment, I'll be calling up each of their sponsors, and students will be coming up here. They're going to be recognizing them, and so thank you all for coming. So we first want to start out with band, so I can have Mr. Langdon and our band students. Come on down, band. Y'all come up here and y'all can stand up front and get all the attention, the recognition that you deserve.
Well, hey, my name is Ross Langdon, Director of Band. Straight ones at UIL marching contest, and then once you get ones, you advance to area and you compete all the top bands in our central area. And out of every single year. If you've ever seen us compared to other bands, we're way smaller than everybody else. Most bands are around 120, and so our competing band is usually at about 52. And so with 52 students, that is a huge accomplishment because we are smaller. But smaller does, even though we are smaller, they play very well, they march very well, and they're just tremendous young people. And so we're very excited for our band this year, the accomplishment, but also for the future of the band program. We couldn't have done it without the students in our band program led by our wonderful drum majors. Can we give them a round of applause, please?
We've got a couple of certificates of recognition, yes,
Okay.
for the band.
Alrighty. Okay, so this is a certificate of recognition for the Venus Bulldog Band, led by Tiffany Ramirez and Maribel Quintana. VISD recognizes you for the following outstanding achievements as 2023 area finalist UIL marching competition.
Yeah, and if we can get the board, if y'all don't mind, I want y'all to stand up and stand behind with Mr. Langdon, the band majors, and get a good picture. Can you get everybody?
You gotta get Greg too.
Got us all?
Greg, you're good where you are, so just look forward, everybody.
Thank you. No, we just need to stay your hands.
Yes, we do kind of have a small boardroom, but yes, when we conclude here, parents, if you want to take a picture with a group out there or your child individually, that would be great. Okay, next we have cross country. Cross country. Coach Rivas and her students, and Coach Haybeck.
Up until the end of October. Try to make it to November, but we're 14 seconds away from making it to November, but next year we're gonna get there, right, Valerie? All right, I want to recognize first, these two right here. Like I said, whoa, can't even talk about it, I'm nervous. But our cross country practice, begins in the morning, so they start in the morning on June the 6th. So their first day of summer is actually cross country. And we start at 6 a.m. So from June the 4th up until school starts, then our time changes to 5 a.m. So these guys are up at probably 4 o'clock in the morning, still doing schoolwork every single day, still making sure that they're in all dual credit classes, that they're in AP classes, constantly checking on their grades, making sure they're up to date on everything. And these guys I never have to ask them to get something done, because everything gets done. And they know my standards, they know Coach Haybeck's standards, and they know that we're up here, and this is where we're gonna stay, is up here. But Juan Chiaro is my boy senior. I put his name in for the Texas High School Coaches Association. These guys, all I do is submit their names. I submit their names and their averages and all the things that they've done and they've accomplished throughout their years in high school. And out of the thousands and thousands of names that go in, they only select a few of these guys, probably I think 50. Out of all of them, Juan was selected as the Texas Coaches High School Association first team All-State academic team. I submitted Stella's also, and Stella was also on the board. She got the Texas High School Coaches Association All-State Honorable Mention team. So these guys have maintained an average of 92% or higher. I think Juan was at 96%, and Estella was at 94%. And that's with them doing dual credit classes and AP classes and all the stuff that they do. And then finally we have Valerie. Valerie, once again, started with us in June. She didn't run last year. I begged her to run. She didn't want to run, and so we're just like, all right, you'll come around. So she finally came out this year, and our girls placed fourth place in the regional meet. We were 6 points from making it on to regionals as a team, but we did have Val in advance. We go to state. She works hard. We're constantly running sprints for 2 weeks straight, trying to get her to where we need to go, because I told her, like, she knew from day one where we were going to be at and where we were at. She goes out, runs. it's been 120 degrees all year long. We go out to run our regional meet. It's pouring rain. It's cold. It's muddy. Everyone is slipping and sliding. Val was 14 seconds away from making it to the state cross country meet. And it broke my heart to have to go tell her that we were going to go home and that we weren't going to advance. But she looked at me and she's like, Coach, we're going next year. I'm like, yes, ma'am, we sure are. So, but I want to give them their things. This is Valerie. She did a regional qualifier. She's a sophomore, by the way. We have Juan Navarro, who is my senior all-state academic athlete, and Stella, who's honorable mention academic athlete. Thank you, guys. And I couldn't do this without my.
All right, we're gonna get another picture
Could not.
here.
Open them.
All right, Amber. No, Tasha. There we go. Ready? All right.
All right, y'all ready?
Okay, we have volleyball next. Volleyball.
Miss Gonzalez.
Okay, I'm Lindsay Gonzalez. I am actually the new head volleyball coach for this year. And these amazing young women are part of our team this year, and they have received their academic and all district awards. This season, just being a new coach, these girls stepped in July, June, and just went all for it, and I couldn't be prouder of them. Spend more time with them than my family, so they are all like my children. I love every single one of them, and I'm thankful for all your hard work y'all did this season. So with that, we have some academic and our all-district awards. We have Tanaya. She was awarded first team all-district for our district. Okay, I'm loud, so I guess I can go. We have Aurora. She was awarded second team all-district. We have Marisol Campos. She was honorable mention. Haley Rivers is also honorable mention. And then all these wonderful athletes, they also got academic all district. So they maintained a 90 grade point average for all their classes for the first 6 weeks. So we have Peyton Cruz, Wisdom Davis, Theo Gonzalez, Michaela Johnson, Emma Johnson, Delilah Martinez, Magor, Tanaya, and Aurora. So, it might be upset. Just, we'll figure it out.
Okay, we'll get a
Friday.
picture here, ladies, with
Yeah,
all the
y'all
board.
crowd into the front so we can.
I'll get in there close.
Do the shorter ones like the front.
Cadences.
Board, I've got everybody. I'll also be on Facebook too, so.
All right, let's thank you. Are you walk out?
Okay, we have football now. Coach Verdell, athletic director, head football coach.
get microphones. I don't want to. These are in this order. All right, first of all, I want to say thank you to Dr. Torres for kind of getting the student recognition part going. Anytime we can recognize our student athletes, and really all of our students for their accomplishments, achievements, and their work and effort that they put into our program, we're appreciative of that. So thank you. So these guys right here earned district level honors in football. And so basically what that means is coaches from other teams voted to put them on the all-district team. So we can only nominate a kid, but so at some point throughout the season, coaches from other teams saw these guys do something on film where they thought, this guy, we kind of have to game plan about this guy in this position. We got to have something ready to go for this guy, right? And so that's kind of what other teams thought about these guys right here, and that's kind of how they end up on the all-district team. So kind of a cool thing right there. Right here, Eric Renteria was going to first team all-district, and hopefully these are in there. And then on the, I should have kept my list. On the second team, we had, he's not here. You want your nickname or what's actually in there? Patrick Wilson. And Damari Bell. Daniel Polito. And last but not least, we have Jordan Ishmael.
All right, yeah. These football players are gonna have to bend down a little bit because I'm way too short. I'm way too short.
Hey, like you free guys? You free? Come right in here.
We can't all squat down.
Been there, buddy.
You know what? That'll work. I think I can see everybody in the back. Look forward. Andrew, open your thing. I mean, Grant's got a higher picture up there.
There you go, Grant.
Good job, Grant. All right. Yeah.
Oh.
Good job, buddy.
See y'all tomorrow.
Thank you so much. That concludes our recognition time. Parents, you're happy to stay for the rest of the meeting. If not, you may be dismissed at this time. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Last name.
You got some competition.
So we'll move to item number 6, a presentation by Hill College, and we have Dr. Mills, who is actually the president of Hill College, here tonight to present to us.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam President. Dr. Torres, thank you for this invitation. I'm here to share some information, exciting information about House Bill 8 and the impact it will have on dual credit students. Pleased to be here. Venus ISD is one of our treasured dual credit partners. As a district, Venus is extremely forward-thinking and really has the best intentions for their students, and the various things we're doing with PTEX are very exciting, and so we're very pleased to be partners with Dr. Torres and Venus ISD. So, that said, the topic of this discussion is basically reimagining our dual credit partnership. We have a very well-oiled machine in terms of how we are working our partnership presently, but with the advent of House Bill 8, we're going to need to make some adjustments. They're good adjustments, and if I skip to the end, I think this is going to save the district some money, but it's going to look a little different. So I just want to give you those details. So the whole idea of fast funding is to give students, not every district is as generous as Venus ISD is in paying for dual credit and paying for PTEC students. And so dual credit enrollment is much tougher for economically disadvantaged students. And so the result of this is the state has wisely decided to invest a great deal of money in trying to help all students have access to dual credit while they're in high school. So it's really a great plan. To be eligible for FAST funding, which stands for Financial Aid for Swift Transfer, a student needs to be declared as economically disadvantaged based on their participation in the free or reduced lunch program in any one of the past 4 years. Now we are going to roll out FAST funding starting next fall, so that means a student would have to be considered eligible for free or reduced lunch program this year or any of the past 3 years. So the effort is to try to make it extremely inclusive so that even if a student is just there one time, then they're in. So they're trying to capture as many students as possible. The benefit they get, which is really awesome, is they get free tuition, no fees, no books and supplies, and they don't have a limit on the number of credit hours unless the ISD puts a cap on it. So for them, we've taken away a lot of the roadblocks that students can have, particularly in districts that aren't as generous as Venus ISD. So really the savings we're talking about here is really going to be for the district more so than for students, which is still good. So now what you need to realize with that second bullet is that the free part is for the students, and so that means Venus ISD and Hill College have to work together to figure out how are we going to make that free for the students. And so the essence of this plan I'm going to talk about here is how exactly we're going to do that. A couple other details. When economically disadvantaged students take a class, they won't pay any tuition, but at the same time, students that are certified as economically disadvantaged, we will still get reimbursed at a rate of $55 per credit hour. Now the current tuition rate is $72 per credit hour, so for any of those students, we are going to have basically a loss in income for them, and we have a plan to how to offset that, and I'll talk about that here in a minute. The nice thing about this plan, though, is that $55 rate is not just for the economically disadvantaged students. So all dual credit across the board at Hill College will be $55 per credit hour. Moving forward. So it's really going to lower the costs for the ISD from $72 to $55. On the next slide, you'll be able to see what we are bringing to the table to help make this work. We have agreed to waive, and our board has already approved, waiving all fees for all dual credit students starting in fall of 2024. So that's an additional $27 per credit hour that we are waiving. So basically, our revenue for a dual credit student, regardless of whether it's student pay or ISD pay, is going to go from $99 per credit hour to $55 per credit hour. So we're taking a pretty serious hit here financially, but we're not in the business of making money. We're just trying to lose as little as possible. That's our general outlook when it comes to education. And so we're fine with that, but we are going to need some help in offsetting that. Another part of our plan, in addition to waiving fees, is we want to be on campus more. We are going to hire what we're going to call Hill College Navigators, and they will be present at Venus ISD at least once a week for the entire school year. So they'll be able to develop relationships with students, with our faculty, with administration. They'll be able to help students who aren't even dual credit students talk about college, talk about career choices. We're really trying to raise our service model such that we are much more relational. I know, we have, like a lot of institutions, we have work to do, and we have plenty of room for improvement in the way we deliver our services, and we're hoping this makes a huge difference in how well we serve Venus ISD. And I think, the boots on the ground, folks like Regina, who are dealing with dual credit constantly, this is going to be a tremendous benefit. In fact, in all the ISDs across the board, we have 28 ISD partners. Every single one we've talked with has been way more excited about our Hill College Navigators than the fast funding piece. So we're real happy about that. We're also implementing free and open educational resource textbooks whenever possible. Right now we're at about 30% of our courses use free resources. In other words, things you can go online and download before the class even starts. No charge whatsoever. We're trying to get that up to 75% by next fall. It's a very aggressive goal. I do believe if we don't get there, we'll get very close. I have been letting everyone know that there are the OERs is what we call them in science and math there's still a significant gap, in our opinion, between the quality that you can get for free and the quality that you get by paying. So we're not guaranteeing that all of our classes will use OERs, but as many as humanly possible. And so due to the costs that I mentioned in the first two bullets, actually and the first slide, we're going to get less tuition revenue, we're going to get no fee revenue, and we're going to be paying a whole team of professionals to serve various high schools. You all would have a single one. It would be the same person all the time. So we have budgeted more than $1.6 million to offset the tuition and fee revenue reduction, as well as the Hill College Navigators. We actually changed the name. It says Dual Credit Navigator. We decided Hill College Navigator is going to work much better, because they're really not here just for dual credit students. They're also going to help non-dual credit students. So that's what's in it. That's what we're bringing to the table. Go ahead. And then go back one. Okay, go forward one. These are in a little different order. Yeah, let's just go to that one. All right, so here's our ask. So in exchange for everything we're bringing to the table, we are asking for Venus ISD to commit to paying for books and supplies for all economically disadvantaged dual credit students, which is, if I understand our current MOU, you already pay books and supplies for all your P-TECH students. I don't think you pay books and supplies for your dual credit students that are not P-TECH. If you scroll back to that last slide, that's why that was there, so I could explain that. This is my understanding of our current MOU. So students who are in a P-TECH, which would be network, cybersecurity, teaching and welding, the district pays tuition fees, books and supplies for all dual credit courses. So for all those students, the district's going to get a nice reduction in costs from $99 per hour to $55. And then for the non-P-TECH students, the district will get the reduction for the tuition and fee piece. So notice that the student pays for books and supplies. So the real difference here, and if you could go to the next slide then, is going to be if you have non-P-TECH dual credit students, the ISD will be on the hook for the books and supplies for those two students, which for non-P-TECH, the supplies are going to be minimal. It's just going to be books. And as I mentioned earlier, we're already committed to taking as many textbook costs out of the equation as possible. So We believe the cost to the ISD will be minimal, and we think overall that will be a fairly significant reduction in the amount of funding required. And then the other piece of this is, of course, in reference to the Hill College Navigator. We ask that they provide a dedicated space, whether it's an office, whether it's a spot in the cafeteria, the library, wherever, just a consistent place on whatever day a week they're on your campus, so students and everyone knows where to find them. So it's really pretty simple, and we're really excited about it. So the last slide then is a good overview slide about who pays for what. On the left are the economically disadvantaged students. They won't pay any tuition, they won't pay any fees. Now, just to be clear, Hill College, for those students, will get reimbursed for $55 per credit hour, but we're still out the tuition that we're losing by lowering the tuition, and we're out the fees. And then the books and supplies, whatever they are, the ones that are non-OER books, then the district would need to pay those. And by the way, we will still have in our MOU the 3-year agreement, whereas if our instructors pick a textbook and you all choose to buy a classroom set, you'll know that it's going to get used for at least 3 years. And then for the non-economically disadvantaged students, the $55 per credit hour is going to be paid by the student or the ISD. In this case, you all are paying that, so you're getting a reduction there. You're getting a reduction for the fees, and in this case, then, depending on whether P-TECH or non-P-TECH, the students or the ISD pays, but either way, it shouldn't be an increase. So that is everything that I wanted to share. My team and Dr. Torres' team are going to be working on finalizing these details in an MOU to bring forward, hopefully in the near future for approval. We're hoping to get our dual credit navigators, Hill College navigators on campus as early as this spring to help with fall enrollment. But we are going to be working on an MOU, and so all this is to inform you about there should be an MOU coming forward. So Dr. Torres, what did I miss?
No, that's great. I mean, that's everything we talked about when you and your team came and presented. I'm just super excited about the opportunity, the partnership we already have with Hill College. You guys, this is going to be great, and I'm very excited. And I know I talked to Regina about it as well as having that navigator, because just being able to help students navigate through things, answer their questions, be there on a weekly basis, that's huge. That's a big piece. And so I echo what many other ISDs said on that piece. That's going to help them quite a bit. So we're looking forward to it.
All right. Any questions from anyone else?
So the navigator will work with the counselor, kind of, also?
Yes.
And,
Yes.
okay.
And so we really think that our response time, we're trying to reduce our response time for any issues, whether they're reactive or proactive. Any issues, we're really trying to get our response time down, because it's frustrating when you're trying to deal with a parent or a student and they're having an issue, and just having a person who they'll have cell phone numbers. They'll be a cell phone call away. So.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question. So
Yes.
on the disadvantaged students, you said everyone was on free lunches. So the whole district right now is on free lunches. So is that going to, how does that work since everybody's on free lunches? Did they have to turn in the paperwork and then that's how it's going to be done?
Yes. So the district's free and reduced is different than the statewide at the TEA level. Only those that actually turn in the paperwork and get certified will be eligible for this. And so this will be another reason to get people to turn in paperwork and validate it. So. All right. Well, thank you all so much. Thank you for coming out. Thank you. It's my pleasure. Thanks
Thank
for the
you.
invite.
Thanks
Hi.
for coming out. Appreciate it.
We will go to item number 7, executive session at 7:04 p.m. to discuss 551.071, 551.072, 551.074, 551.076, 551.082, and 551.0821. go to item number 8, reconvene from executive session at 8:36 p.m. 7:04. Go to item 9, presentation of campus reports.
Okay. It is. It's bare this week and a month. I'm so sorry. Our enrollment is jumping. I know I didn't give a total, but we probably have added 10 kids in the last month. So they're coming in, which is great. So we're excited. Our bilingual program is skyrocketing. We have 3 pre-K bilingual classes at about 15 each, and then kindergarten and first grade are huge. So it's exciting for us at the lower grade levels. And Mr. Williams is our teacher of the month. And if you all know Brian Williams, he's pretty fantastic. He is the ideal model of what a great teacher is. So if we could clone him, I would love to do that, just because he's contagious with his positivity and everything that he does for the students in the campus. And in fact, I think he's working in his classroom right now. And then student or staff member of the month is Mr. Centino, who is also fantastic. He is a special ed paraprofessional. He goes above and beyond for all our special ed kids. He works inclusion, pull out, sensory breaks, never complains. He's flexible, and so we're just so happy to have him on campus. He's also Dr. Morgan's brother. And then student of the month is a pre-K student, Paradise Alexander, in Miss Wendell's class. Sweetest little student, great role model, great family, super involved. She also has a little twin sister, so we're just happy to have a little bulldog to grow on our campus. And as you see, my blurb here is really short. We're staying busy. We have decorated the campus as a winter wonderland. We invited families for Thanksgiving. We are finishing up our middle of the year assessments. We do M-class assessments. We're kind of transitioning away from MAP assessments to be more age appropriate. And so we're just excited for this week, inviting families for parties and all our dress up days.
Yeah, I will say she's got Dr. Morgan is
Hello.
standing in for Miss Box. Miss Box
Yes.
is under the weather.
I am not transferring to the elementary school. Ms. Box asked me to share that they've had a very busy first semester, full of learning, writing all over the building, across the curriculum. And every time I walk through the hallways, I see new writing, which is really exciting. So that has been a major emphasis this year. They are looking forward to reviewing middle of year MAP data. That testing will finish up this week, and then beginning to make adjustments to help benefit students for the spring. The administrators have been very busy giving teachers regular feedback through walkthroughs. We partner with Collegiate Education and our coach from CEN, who comes and also participates in those learning walks to help give that objective third-party view of what's happening in the classroom. So that's been very helpful. This week, the elementary campus has been very busy with the PTO holiday store, the 4th grade program tonight that happened this evening, and then of course holiday parties will still happen. And then there on the screen for you.
Yeah, the student of the month, I guess that's Jose Andrade. That was great going over there. They go all out over there to celebrate the kiddos. It was awesome. Go up to the next one. Miss Verdell, which is new to Venus ISD counselor. You see there just all the things that she does. And she was voted as staff member of the month. And then finally we had Miss Harris voted as teacher of the month. And you can see the commitment and all the things that she does as well. It was great to go celebrate her as well.
Been here forever.
Yep. Okay.
My turn.
Ms. Buck,
Okay.
middle school.
All right. So lots of things going on at the middle school. I'm going to warn y'all ahead of time before the pictures pop up. It's dress up time. So be ready. We have TSA happening I'm going to go ahead and steal a little bit of his thunder. We have 75 high school kids coming over to work for TSA, be practicing, and we have 165 middle school kids that are coming to TSA practices. As Miss Dr. Morgan was talking about, we have been lots of CEN walkthroughs with our teachers. Our goal is to have every 45-minute evaluation handled before Christmas break, and I think if we're not there, we're going to be really close. We've had a band concert, we've had a choir concert, lots of things happening, a robotics competition. Getting ready in January, we'll have academic UIL happening. And then Miss Ortiz was talking about them growing. We are up to 520, and we ended last year in like the 470 range. So we have been adding lots and lots of kiddos. All right, let's get to those lovely pictures. So it was Winter Wonderland Day. Okay, so my APs take this very serious. And so our teacher of the month was Miss Thorman. She is new to us this year. She's a special ed teacher, and she's amazing. She works with our teachers and our kiddos. She is kind and soft-spoken and supportive, and the teachers that recommend her said she's an inspiration. So that's a huge compliment. And then we have a combined here because our support staff of the month and our student of the month were in the same room. So Miss Jackie Grimes is our support staff of the month. She is one of our inclusion aides and goes in and works with our kiddos in classes. Always has a positive attitude, always has a smile on her face. She's sometimes hard to pick out in the room because she's, about the same size as the middle school kids. We tease her about that. And then our student of the month is 8th grader Emma Garcia Molina, and she is always engaged. She participates in lots and lots of things. Every time you see her, she will have that same smile on her face. And when we announced her that day, she was like, so shocked that she had gotten it. But you will not meet a more polite kiddo. She is the most polite child I've ever met in my life, and we are lucky to have her. So that's all I have.
I feel like you saw half of the high school already, so I'm going to try to do this. Our teacher of the month was Mr. Haybeck, and if you know him, he's just kind of a role model for not only the kiddos, but also for the teachers. He puts a lot of work into his lesson plans and comes in and always asking for suggestions, but once you get in the classroom, you can tell it really pays off, because every single kid in there is engaged and actually asks questions, really want to know about his topic. But he also puts in a lot of time as the girls' head basketball coach, and he's bringing that program along pretty nicely. He tells me slowly, but he's getting there. So our staff member, we actually have two, Ms. Alvarado and Ms. Vayin. And the other thing, as I was going to say about that, we also are growing in enrollment, but they are our EB kids. We're getting a lot from everywhere. So these two girls are Miss Roden's girls. She helps us make out a schedule for them and finds out where those EB kids are, and they go in and they help the EB kids, whether it be with orientation, assimilation, or classes, language. So they do a great job. They're also real quick to step in and serve as a sub if need be. So, and I had to use both of them because they both show up with the work and with a smile, and then they leave with a smile. So they're pretty essential. So we're glad to have them. Our student of the month, you've seen already in football, Patrick Wilson. He is very positive. His whole demeanor is infectious. He's hard to miss because of his size, but he's also hard to miss because he's so supportive. And I'm going to tell a short story about this young man. You can see someone in the cafeteria, someone who really doesn't have a group that they belong to, and he is real quick to walk over, introduce himself, sit with the kid, and before you know it, that kid is now sitting with the football players, and they have now become part of that group. Have nothing in common except they all go to school, and he has a way of making them feel welcomed there. But he's also supportive in volleyball, basketball, but just all are pretty well-rounded individual. So he makes my heart kind of happy when I see him, just to sit back and watch that. We had our national basketball tournament, and I say national, international, because this year we had a team from Australia, and they were quite the hit. They were quite the hit with the way they composed themselves, with the way they interacted with our students, and we gave them a tour of the campus, and I've gotten emails on Facebook or everything else from some of their coaches and their parents about how we made them feel welcome, and they've already asked to come back next year. So that was good to see kids from different places like that find out how in common we are. Our academic people you've already met, Juan Guijarro and Estela Gavan. Both of them are great kids. This young man is also like Patrick. You're very likable. He doesn't have a stranger. He doesn't mind helping or tutoring someone in a class. And Estela is pretty well rounded in sports as well as in her academics. In AVID, that program is growing. I know we've added an AVID teacher, and we've come a long way in that program from where we were last year. This group here went to UTA, and it always amazes me that they don't know what they don't know, because for a lot of those kids, they stay here in Venus. They don't understand college. They don't understand what a dorm is. So for them to get out, come back, and then have that kind of interaction with them, and then they're getting support in the classroom through our AVID teachers. And we were trying to become an AVID site, but I'm sorry. So we're trying to get there, because all our kids are in that pathway, whether they're in that class or not. And by pathway, I mean they need that exposure. And we have Key Club. Since Ms. Silvers has left, we've had a hard time finding someone that will take this group on. Their last event was during the Veterans Day, where they went out to the cemetery and placed wreaths on there. But these are very social kids and like to do volunteering in the community. So we've kind of piecemealed what we're going to do different.
We also did 2 events just recently, the last 2 weekends.
Yes, the shopping and yeah. And Laura has really helped out with this, and we're trying to come up with a rotation of helping sponsor this program. For our upcoming events, we have our December EOC test results in mid-January, and our MAP testing will be in January. And we have our annual staff versus student volleyball on January the 19th. So if you want to register a team, just let me know, and we'll make you a team and kind of flip a tournament go around. You're going to be there, right, Laura? So just let me know. We'll do what we can. Okay. To start you off, I'll put you against the faculty, not the girls first. Okay. Thank you.
You're tall. We can use you with the net.
We'll go to item number 10, consent agenda. Did anybody have anything they wanted to ask? I have a question on it. The Edgenuity cost, is there a difference from last year to this year? I think this year it's $35,380 is what I read.
No, if it would, it's just the normal annual increase, but it's
This, okay.
I make a motion to pass the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second.
Motion by Greg, second by Amber. All in favor? Motion carries. Moved up. What? Okay. Item 11, consider approval for the amendment to the communication system agreement effective October 1st, 2023. Chief Woods.
Yeah, all this is an amendment to what we did with dispatch, but this is for radio monthly usage. To be on the radio, we have 4 radios. It's like $27.89 a month for 12 months, and so that's what we have to pay. It's been paid. They just forgot to send us the amendment to that part and everything else. So we just need to have it signed off and sent back to them that we agreed to it. So.
I'll make a motion to approve, the amendment to the communication system.
Motion by Amber, do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Joe, all in favor? Motion carries. Item 12, consider approval of matters, we don't have anything there, right? Of matters related to personnel resignations, employment, position, or contract amendment? Oh, okay.
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll make
Okay.
a motion to approve as presented on personnel resignations, employment, positions, or contract amendment.
Motion by Amber, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Kirby, all in favor? Motion carries. To item 13, reports. Does anybody have anything as far as reports go?
No, I will just say, on my end, just as we're wrapping up the semester, you heard as we recognize students tonight, very exciting to see folks and people here to supporting them. It has been just a really wonderful first semester, a lot of work. You heard the updates from the principals, all the things that our kids are doing, and accomplishments, whether it's academics, fine arts, athletics. It's just been a really, really good semester. Our kids are shining. That's because we got great administrators, great teachers. We're going to continue to, live by what our vision is, right? And that's excellence. Excellence grows in each of us every day. So it's just been, it's been a great first semester. I know everyone's looking forward to a break. We've got a few more days here, and we're gonna keep on churning and finishing strong. But I'd just say it's been a great first semester, and I'm really proud to be a part of the team here.
I have a question for you, Chief. Are you getting a lot of applicants, or is it kind of?
So I've received applicants both for officer and for the sergeant position. And I've washed them out just because of stuff in background or interviews and everything else and stuff, or wanting more money than what we had to offer and everything else. But a lot of it's been, there's some issues in the background. Yes, I need to hire people, but I don't need just hire people. Yes, ma'am.
Are you seeing that with other districts that you're talking to? They're having a hard time finding people?
It's a standstill right now. I've got some fillers out. I had a guy call me just Thursday, actually Friday, wanted to talk to me a little bit more and everything else too. So it's just getting fillers out and people talking to me. The most intriguing thing is the days, having Fridays off and everything else. So,
do you think there'd be any value to maybe if we would look at maybe 2 officers that maybe you mentored into the sergeant position, or does it, you're not getting applicants for whatever you have posted anyway?
Just got to get the applicants,
Gotcha.
The right applicants.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like I said, I need to hire, but I don't want to
Right.
place somebody there that we're going to have issues with.
Yeah, agreed.
So,
Okay, thank you. Anybody else have any questions? Nope. Okay, we will go to item 14. Board requests for additional items. Our next scheduled board meeting is January 22nd. Does anybody have any requests for any items for that meeting? Nope. Oh, yeah, if that works for everybody, 6, yeah, it'll be 6 p.m. Okay. And we will go to item 15, adjourn at 8:55 p.m.